Success in business and sales is nothing to do with who you know or what you know. It has to do with who you are. And more specifically, it has to do with these three universal truths and character traits that all successful salespeople have. This first character trait might be kind of surprising, but the number one character trait for successful people is massive insecurity. Just think about it. Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs. Bezos was left by his father. Steve Jobs was adopted, but they used that as fuel to build what they built. They had this outsider mentality that was something that they were not willing to live with, this insecurity that they would not live with, and they would find any means necessary to get rid of it. For myself, I felt always like an outsider. I was abandoned by my biological father and then again by my adopted father. So I had this huge hole I was trying to fill because I never felt like I was good enough. Now, ironically, the whole insecurity thing is all self-inflicted, and I can go into that in another video. The second trait that very successful business people and salespeople have is discipline. And it makes sense because when you have this insecurity, you're going to do whatever you have to do to get rid of it. Because remember, with the insecurity, it's something they cannot live with. So they have to develop the discipline to do what's needed to get rid of this insecurity. Whether that means make the cold calls, build the product, build the business. They have the discipline to do it, and they gamify it. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a little tip about how I gamify and make discipline come super easy for me, and hopefully it helps you. And the last part that completes this cocktail of character traits, and is a very important one, but it actually doesn't start here. It is fed by the first two, is successful people, business and sales, have huge egos. They're very confident. And the reason they're very confident is because they were insecure. They developed the discipline to overcome the insecurity, and they saw the results from that discipline, which built their ego and their confidence. So confidence comes last after doing the thing, after being disciplined, after feeling the weak ego. Once you feel like you're weak and you're not strong, but you won't take it, that's when you develop the discipline. And then from the discipline, you develop the confidence. And the thing about confidence is it points you back to number one, the insecurity, because there's always a new hill to climb, a new project to take on. You're never at the top of the mountain when you feel insecure, and it's always playing in the background. So it's this flywheel of you feeling insecure. You're feeling like you got to be disciplined to overcome the insecurity. You overcome the insecurity by actually doing the thing via discipline, and you get the confidence. But then you realize, oh, I need to go higher because I'm still insecure, and I need to get more and more. And it's this wheel that keeps going around. And that's how the most successful people create what they do. That's how salespeople pick up the phone and make the call and close the deals. That's how people build the businesses that make the money. That's how people get the girls and buy the houses and do all the things and get on YouTube and make videos, because these three things are at play all the time. I promised you a discipline tip and a little hack, so here it is. It helps me time and time again when I feel like I just don't have the motivation to do something. I don't feel like I even want to get started. The key is the resistance hates you starting, because it realizes once you start, you're most likely going to complete whatever it is. So what the hack is whatever you're resisting doing, going to the gym, making cold calls, whatever, you set your timer for 5 minutes and you just start. And you say, listen, Jermaine, I'm just going to do cold calls for 5 minutes. Just get started. And if I don't like it after that, great, I'll stop. But next thing you know, you did an hour and a half of cold calls, and because you got the momentum going. Next thing you know, you were on the treadmill for 5 minutes. Next thing you know, it's an hour later. Now you start working out, you're doing the bench press, you're just going to do one set. Next thing you know, you completed the whole workout. Procrastination hates momentum. And the key to starting anything is to just get started with the smallest possible action. I'll see you in the next one.